Greetings, everybody, and welcome back to Exscream Evocast, an all-purpose Pokemon podcast where we talk about news, trivia, and everything related to Pokemon. Happy Halloween. Well, potentially happy Halloween. If you're listening to this on the day of release, it's the day before Halloween, but hopefully, maybe you're busy on Wednesday and, you don't have time, and you end up listening to it on Halloween. In that case, happy Halloween. I think I said last episode that the episode before was the episode that was going to be playing before Halloween, and I was wrong. I totally didn't think that I didn't realize that this episode was actually going to be happening the day before Halloween, which I'm very thankful for because I was excited to do something for Halloween. So that's what this episode is. So welcome everybody. I hope you're all having a great October, a great Halloween season, I suppose. I hope you go out trick-or-treating for anyone who still goes trick-or-treating. I am probably going to go trick-or-treating, hopefully. I have a big Halloween party planned. But we have a Halloween-themed, or spooky, I should say, topic for today's episode. But first, of course, we're going to get into the news segment. And for pretty much the first time on Extreme Evocast, no Pokemon Go news? No, I lied. There's one Pokemon Go news, which we will talk about first, which is that the Colossal Discovery Pokemon Go event that I talked about last time is now available. It's the special research where you could find. You could have the quest thing that gives you Regigigas and gives you limited access to certain Pokemon. If you want to know more about it, you can either look on Cerebi or listen to last week's episode last episode if you haven't already. But a little bit of breath of fresh air. That is the only Pokemon Go news that we're going to be talking about. Like I always say, Pokemon Go is pretty much the prominent thing we talk about on Extreme Evocast, but not today. I have some sad news, actually. Two very, very sad news. First of all is that Pokemon Duel, something that I've talked about very briefly in the past, and a game that I actually really, really enjoy playing, is going down. It's not going to be available anymore. It's either not going to be available anymore or it's not available anymore at the time of this episode. I'm not 100% sure, but Pokemon Duel is ending, and that is sad because I really, really like that game, and I don't really know why they're not, maybe they're not making a profit, maybe they're just maybe they don't want to work on it anymore, who knows. But Pokemon Duel, the iPhone game, board game style, almost like chess Pokemon game, is going down, which is sad because I really, really enjoy that game, and I've also spent quite a lot of money on that game, so I'm a little bit, I'm upset. It's a fun game. It seems kind of unnecessary, but like I said, maybe they're not making a profit. Maybe they're losing inspiration. Who knows? Though on the bright side, we have some new information about Pokemon Sword and Shield. Maybe not new information, but new screenshots for Pokemon Sword and Shield. I'm looking at them right now. You can find them on Cerebi, which, like I say, pretty much every episode. This is where I'm getting most of my information from, is Cerebi. But I'm getting the screenshots from here. It seems like the two screenshots that they released, the new screenshots that we have, are 3 trainers. Looks like they're getting ready to do a raid battle. And all 3 of them are wearing Pokemon Quest t-shirts. I wonder why. They're all wearing Pokemon Quest t-shirts, all 3 of them. It's just the design for Pokemon Quest on the shirt. And they're doing a raid. They're doing a raid boss. And next, or not a raid boss, Dynamax raid boss, I guess. Similarly, there's a screenshot of 2 trainers battling, where it seems like both of the trainers are also wearing Pokemon Quest t-shirts, which is interesting. Why? I don't know why all of the trainers in the new screenshots are wearing Pokemon Quest t-shirts. Maybe they're just showing them off, or maybe it's hinting at something. Pokemon Quest 2, Pokemon Quest DLC, who knows? Pokemon Quest is a great game. I want to have an entire episode where I talk about Pokemon Quest, because Pokemon Quest is one of my favorite games of all time. It's really, really fun. If you have, like I said, I've said this before, if you haven't played Pokemon Quest, go download it. It's free. It's on iPhone and on Switch. It's very, very, very fun. Super, super fun. But they're wearing Pokemon Quest t-shirts. And they are, it looks like they're about to battle, because there's like the trainer card. It's like a trainer card, and it says versus in between them, and there's another trainer card for the other trainer. It seems like there's customizable trainer like backgrounds, because there's like, the first one is a girl trainer, and she's in like a pose. She's holding her backpack straps, and there's like a city behind her. And then next to her is a male trainer, who's looking very happy, very pumped up. But the background, a different pose than the girl, and the background is different. So maybe you can customize your trainer appearance, like not appearance, but like your like background when you start a battle, or like, you know, similar things like that. Maybe when you trade or when you battle, something like that, you can customize it. You can have different backgrounds and trainer profile pictures, I suppose is a good word for it. That's interesting. I'm excited to see what that entails for the future. Pokemon Masters is getting a new sync pair. There was like a who's that sync pair with a silhouette, like a who's that Pokemon callback. And it has been revealed to be Caitlyn and Reuniclus, which is exciting. I mean, maybe not exciting for me because I don't play Pokemon Masters. But it's Caitlyn and Reuniclus. I don't really know anything about Pokemon Masters, but I thought I would say that just because. I mean, I have no doubt that a lot of people listening to this probably play Pokemon Masters. So I try to keep update on Pokemon Masters news, but I'm not really a huge fan of it, so I don't know how in-depth I'm going to be able to talk about it. But I'll try my hardest. Coming an end to the news. Not a lot of news today. Not a lot has really happened all that much. There is the Shiny Solgaleo and Shiny Lunala event that I talked about last time and the time before are coming to new places. They're coming to Australia. It says there have been reports that you can receive the code at the Pokemon at Tills and EB Games. At present, it's unclear when the event will end. And also, similarly, the Shiny Solgaleo and Shiny Lunala event has been announced for Japan as part of a campaign which runs through Saturday, October 26th through Saturday, November 9th. You'll be able to get a Shiny Solgaleo or Lunala code if you have spent over 700 yen, which is $7 US dollars, I believe, and use the special 7net app. Within 24 hours, you'll get a choice on whether or not to apply for the Solgaleo Lunala code or a Nanako code. The codes will then distributed via lottery, but there are 2 million codes to give out. Interesting. That's a very interesting way of doing it. So if you are listening to this and you live in Japan, or Australia, you can get yourself a Shiny Solgaleo and Shiny Lunala. Maybe. Seems like you do it and you enter the lottery to get one, which is very, very interesting. Next up is, actually, I lied. There is one more thing about Pokemon Go. It says Niantic has announced a special Willow Report feature in their promotion of Pokemon Go covering the Team Go Rocket section. Today's element includes mysterious components, items that Team Go Rocket used to take over Pokestops. At present, it's not clear what elements these components will control in the game itself. So it's kind of like a showcase of like something coming up soon. Some teasing at something to come up soon. I believe that has something to do with the Team Rocket radar. That can like allow you to focus on, or find Team Rocket Pokestops. One second, I'm gonna look at the Pokemon Go Twitter, see if I missed anything. You can get Litwick. Oh. Interesting. There's another Willow report here. A shadowy Sierra, which happened yesterday. While saving eggs from Team Go Rocket, Spark meets face-to-face with Team Go Rocket leader Sierra. Hello? Oh yeah, here was the mysterious components. I'll read them out loud. And there's also the radar prototype, and there's another Team Go rocket post, and then there's the Sierra one. Here, I'll read all four of them. So it says, Willow report. Professor Willow has kept a detailed log of his research concerning Team Go rocket. He shared this log with us and hopes we can support him and the team leaders when it comes to this threat. We've prepared his report for you below and will continue to update as he shares more of his findings. I apologize for not seeing this earlier. I would have covered this before. Actually, it happened before. Actually, this happened. This happened after last episode, so this is all new for me. This is all new for this episode. I mean, so this is on the 22nd. It says mysterious components. This is the one we just talked about. During my investigations of these takeovers, I came across these strange objects that Team Go rocket grunts will drop upon being defeated in battle. For the sake of the report, I will refer to them as mysterious components. The exteriors of these objects seem to be made of some kind of metal alloy, and they're cold to the touch. The glass screens radiate a light purple color. I touched the screen of one of the objects to see if it would react, but nothing happened. I had a hunch that the Team Go rocket grunts were using some sort of device to take over Pokestops and collect resources. Based on what I know so far, these mysterious components I've found seem to be able to serve that purpose. But considering how advanced the technology is, there must be some other use for it. I've been working on something in my lab to help with the team leaders, and I think we might be able to use these components to track down where Team Go rocket is hiding. I need to continue my research. We must get to the bottom of this. So that was on the 22nd, and this is on the 24th. It says early rocket radar prototype. This is what I was talking about, the rocket radar. I remember seeing this on Twitter. We're getting closer to finding another use for the mysterious components. I've been developing a prototype for something I call the rocket radar by combining several of the components together, but it's still not functioning as intended. I believe if I can create a functioning prototype of this rocket radar, we might be able to use the Team Go rocket's own technology to find out where their hideouts are. While it's relatively easy to find Team Go rocket grunts, the Pokestops they hack become noticeably discolored and have a glitch-like appearance. We've had a difficult time finding where the Team Go rocket leaders or even Giovanni are hiding. These mysterious components hold the key to making this rocket radar work. I know we can uncover where the Team Go rocket higher-ups are hiding. I need to rally our team leaders to dig further into this. Nice. And this is on the 26th. It says, Willow report, the first of many cliffhangers. We had our first encounter with a Team Go rocket leader today. Testing needed to be done on the rocket radar prototype. Blanche has been an integral part of this development, so naturally I included the Team Mystic leader to assist. We set out in hopes of testing its tracking abilities, but the prototype kept malfunctioning, causing us to be led aimlessly to random Pokestops. Blanche became visibly upset, which tends to happen when things don't go to their carefully curated plans. This was when something unexpected happens. Instead of us finding a Team Go rocket leader, one of them found us. A muscular man with a distinct Pokeball beard design approached us. Cliff, just as he appeared in the corrupted files of my computer. His first words were a warning that we were encroaching on Team Go rocket territory. His demeanor was just as stern and as intimidating as his photo. He was reluctant to battle us, and told us to retreat in a surprisingly gentle tone. It was clear that this would be the only kindness he'd show to us, and not stand down if challenged to a battle. Blanche stood frozen. I made the decision for both of us to head back. We were not prepared for a face-off. Back safely in the lab, Blanche confirmed my assumptions. It was difficult to determine the best course of action during our encounter with Cliff. Compounded with the frustration of the prototype malfunctioning, it was clear that Blanche needed some time to reassess the situation at hand. We need to be cautious. It seems like we aren't the only ones scouting out on the situation. Wow. I'm invested in this. This is like a story. I need to keep better track of this. There's one more here. It says, Willow report, a shadowy Sierra. Work continues to move forward on tracking Team Go Rocket. I've observed Blanche having a renewed sense of motivation as we improved upon the rocket radar prototype. Unfortunately, we had some unexpected testing by our rambunctious Team Instinct leader, Spark. After his unauthorized testing and a bit of reprimanding, Spark shared with me yet another unexpected encounter. He had ventured out on his own with the malfunctioning rocket radar that Blanche had been working on. He was concerned that since Team Go Rocket was stealing from Pokestops, that meant they were also taking the eggs as well. Worried that they might hatch the eggs and turn those Pokemon into Shadow Pokemon too, He was determined to save as many eggs as he could before Team Go Rocket got to them. Even more concerning, he confirmed that he had a face-to-face with the woman in the decrypted images, Sierra. He told me that he saved a few eggs. After he saved a few eggs, Sierra appeared and mocked his rescue mission, which only riled Spark up further. He challenged her to a battle. However, his impulsiveness had gotten the best of him. His natural instinct to go out and protect the eggs also left him completely unprepared to battle. Sierra noticed he had no Pokeballs and dismissed Spark's challenge, saying not to waste her time as she disappeared into the shadows. Spark told me that Sierra's presence seemed different from the grunts he'd encountered. He wasn't intimidated by Team Go Rocket grunts, but he felt small in Sierra's presence. The way she spoke and moved gave off a sense that she had years of experience and training that outmatched his own. It appears if Team Go Rocket had some formidable leaders after all. Spark returned the rocket radar, which was still malfunctioning after Blanche's adjustments. Blanche was obviously not amused by the adventures of a fellow team leader, but realized his use of the prototype provided additional insights into what could be causing the malfunction. The two began working together to find the source of the issue. Since our team leaders have unique strengths and weaknesses, I believe collaboration will be the key to our success. Professor Willow. Wow, this is interesting. This is more of a story than I ever expected it to be. I like it. I'm excited to see what happens soon. I mean, I'm surprised at the investment that we're getting into the Team Go Rocket stuff, like the different members and the leaders. Sierra, not like Giovanni. I'm sure Giovanni will take have a place at some point, but we're getting actual characters and actual story. I really like it. I'm totally for that. It's it's exciting. I'm excited to see what kind of features this brings in the future. I'm sure it'll be some sort of boss battles. We fight the team leaders and we get rewards, maybe a special research task or something. Other than that, who knows? We'll see. Moving on from that, there's also a shiny Tapu Koko event coming soon. Let me see if I can find it. Tapu Koko. Actually, I don't know if it's coming soon. I think it's already going on, if I remember correctly. It says here. For those of you who have participated in the recent Ultra Final online competition, an entry gift is now available to all qualifying players through this league after logging into the global link. The gift is a shiny Tapu Koko. The first time it has been available as shiny with any nature other than Timid, which comes at level 60 with the moves Nature's Madness, Thunderbolt, Dazzling Gleam, and Volt Switch, and holds an electric seed, and can be redeemed until November 28th. Okay, so anyone who participated in the Ultra Final online competition, you can get a shiny Tapu Koko, which is good. I really, really like shiny Tapu Koko. Sweet. And I believe this explains the Pokemon Quest uniform, or the Pokemon Quest t-shirt. It says here, in Japan, people who pre-order the game from select retailers have been given access to Secret Member Club. That's a Pokemon Sword and Shield. So far, for membership milestones, distributions of a shiny Necrozma for Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and a shiny Krabby for Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee have already happened. Today, it is announced that from November 1st, 2019, members of the club will be able to get a serial code to redeem a special Pokemon Quest-style t-shirt for Pokemon Sword and Shield, which can be redeemed from November 15th to February 3rd. The t-shirt may also be distributed at a later date. It's unclear if the t-shirt will make it to the West, but we'll provide all details as when they come, so be sure to keep checking back. This is from Cerebi. So I will keep you guys updated on the Pokemon Quest t-shirt mystery that's going on. But that explains the Pokemon Quest t-shirt. I didn't see that before. I really hope it comes to the West because I really like Pokemon Quest. That rhymed. And I want that t-shirt. It's very cute. It's very nice. I'm excited to see if it comes. And finally, for the last bit of the news, there's a new app. It is live on the Google Play Store for Pixel 4 users. And it's called Pokemon Wave Hello. It says this small app has you able to interact with Pikachu, Eevee, Grookey, Scorbunny, and Sobble with various gestures in the mobile. So you can interact with your favorite Sword and Shield Pokemon, and also Pikachu and Eevee, of course. Cool. I'm surprised I didn't hear about that before, but it's only available for Pixel 4 users, which is upsetting because I kind of wanted to get out of that. Anyway, that is going to do it for the spooky news, and we are going to hop into our first segment of the episode, which is everybody's favorite segment, where we talk about a random Pokemon every episode, random Pokemon of the week, and fittingly, kind of a spooky Pokemon, for the Halloween season, for the October season, is a Gothitelle. So Gothitelle is a Psychic-type Pokemon introduced in Generation 5. It evolves from Gothorita starting level 41 and is the final form of Gothita. It is a Psychic-type. Its abilities are Frisk or Competitive. Its hidden ability is Shadow Tag. It has a 25% male, 75% female gender ratio. It is 4'11", which is a lot shorter than I actually thought. I thought it was very, very tall, but I mean 4'11" is still pretty tall, but that's like a foot shorter than me. That's also 1.5 meters, and it is 97 pounds, or 44 kilograms. So Gothitelle is also number 576. So looking at the trivia for Gothitelle, there is no trivia, it seems. The trivia section is completely blank for Gothitelle. Yep, there's no trivia for Gothitelle. I like Gothitelle. Before we get into more of the intricacies of Gothitelle, I really like it. We went over Gen 5 the other day with my friends, a few episodes ago, and I don't think we really talked about Gothitelle or this line at all, really. But I think it's cute. I think it's maybe not cute, but I think it's a cool design. Of course, I love its design. I think I mentioned that when we went over it, that I really, really enjoy its design. Sort of the goth Lolita, design. It's very, very interesting, and its shiny form is, kind of underwhelming. It's not really that cool. Literally, the only thing that changes on it is it's the black just turns to like a dark blue, kind of like a purpley dark blue. It's not very good. It's not even there's nothing that what do I even say? It just becomes dark blue. None of the skin colors change. None of the white color changes. Nothing changes. It's just dark blue. And because of that, I'm going to rate it a 4 out of 10. Yeah, 4 out of 10 seems nice. It's not too bad. It looks cool, but not, because it's a shiny, it just kind of looks cool, like its normal form. I don't know. 4 out of 10 seems fitting. It's kind of bleh. Moving on to the competitive nature of Gothitelle. It is untiered, which I believe just means it doesn't really go anywhere. But the format for Gothitelle, there's actually two. There's PU, which is the lowest tier, and then there's Uber, which I will go over in a minute. But its stats are 70 HP, 55 attack, 95 defense, 95 special attack, 110 special defense, and 65 speed. And its abilities, of course, are competitive, frisk, and its hidden ability, Shadow Tag. So the PU, I will go over the Uber first, because you need to know this a little bit of background first. So this is written by Nixon73. So it is an Uber. It says, Gothitelle, it's known for its ability to trap and dispose of passive Pokemon that form the defensive backbone of stall and balance teams, including support Arceus forms, Chansey, Ferrothorn, defensive Necrozma DM, which is Duskmane, whatever, the Solgaleo one, Lunala, not Lunala, Lugia, sorry, and numerous other Pokemon. The wide range of Pokemon it can trap allows it to fit on both offensive and defensive teams, where it can clear away the stops of sweepers such as Mega Salamence or support a more anti-offense oriented backbone with an edge against stall teams. This flexibility is bolstered by it not needing a Mega Slot or Z Crystal, in contrast to the tier's other prominent trapper in Mega Gengar. I think this is the first Uber that we've talked about, and the only reason why it's an Uber is because of Shadow Tag, where it Shadow Tag, of course, it prevents the opposing Pokemon from switching out, which was banned from anything other than Uber because it's too overpowered, which is why it's in Uber, which is why it's untiered, because Shadow Tag is extremely overpowered, even in Uber. Even when you're fighting against the best of the best, it's still overpowered, which is why Mega Gengar is also Uber, and many other Shadow Tag Pokemon are Uber, because you can just stall and completely suck away the Pokemon's PP until it just until you can take it down. So I'll finish the description here. Gothitel's trapping range notably includes many of the tier's best defoggers, which provides a strong matchup against archetypes weak to Stealth Rock, such as Ho-Oh. Gothitelle can also be used as a hard punish option against choice item users. Notably, it can trap and revenge kill Yveltal, locked into Defog or Oblivion Wing, and choice Scarf Xerneas, both prominent Pokemon in the tier. So it can, because of Shadow Tag, if a Pokemon is scarfed, or choiced, it can only use one move until it switches out again. So once it uses a move, it cannot use any other move other than that one. So you could have a Pokemon like such as Yveltal, say, come in, use Defog against the Gothitelle, and then or against any Pokemon to get rid of Stealth Rock or anything, entry hazards, and then you switch into Gothitelle. The Yveltal is stuck in Defog and can't use anything else, and it can't switch out because of Gothitel's Shadow Tag. Furthermore, Gothitelle can switch out after depriving a foe of all of its useful moves, providing a teammate with a true free turn against a completely helpless opponent. However, Gothitelle leads no defensive utility to any team, which can make it difficult to fit into many archetypes. Its low bulk makes it rely on free switches and risky reads to conduct some of its traps. Gothitelle provides far more utility against defensive and balanced archetypes, and is often relegated to death fodder against hyper-offense teams. Overall, Gothitelle is difficult to fit into most archetypes, and is not particularly good as a standalone Pokemon, but its unique niche as a trapper or passive Pokemon is devastating in a team built around taking advantage of it, making it a feared Pokemon in the tier. Well, that is fitting for the Halloween episode. It is horrifying. This Gothitelle just keeps you trapped in there, doesn't let you leave, just whittles you down little by little. So the move set that they are talking about with this Uber team is Confide, Charm, Taunt, Rest, Leftovers item, Shadow Tag is its ability, of course, Calm Nature, which is plus special defense minus attack, 244 HP EVs, 108 defense EVs, 156 special defense EVs. That is the Uber. And then on the total other side of the spectrum is the PU, where Shadow Tag is banned. Once the bane of ORAS OU, the Shadow Tag ban doomed Gothitelle to being unviable even in PU. Now that it is unable to trap its foe, it is unlikely to get a good opportunity to set up, which means it has trouble getting past the tier's dark types like Skuntank. In addition, its only decent bulk paired up with its subpar special attack makes it outclassed by a multitude of other psychic types like Alolan Raichu and Musharna. That was written by Jajokra. And the moveset that they use for PU is Psychic, Thunderbolt, Hidden Power Ground, and Calm Mind. Colbur Berry as an item, which Colbur Berry, I believe, halves damage taken from a super effective dark type attack. Competitive as its ability, which the Pokemon special attack is raised by 2 stages for each attack, each of its stat stages that is lowered by an opposing Pokemon. Nature is either Modest, which is plus special attack minus attack, or Timid, which is plus speed minus attack. 252 special attack EVs, 4 special defense EVs, and 252 speed EVs. It says, Gothitelle attempts to be a calm mind wall breaker with decent coverage, but it fails to carve out a niche due to its poor stats. The only reason to use Gothitelle over Alolan Raichu or even Musharna would be its competitive ability, but it's not enough to make Gothitelle viable, and the aforementioned duo are objectively better choices for psychic types. Well, seems like Gothitelle kind of got the short end of the stick on that one. It was a horrible, feared mess in Uber before the Shadow Tag ban, and then poor Gothitelle just got left in the dirt with PU. Very sad. Poor Gothitelle. Anyway, that is going to do it for the random Pokemon of the week. I hope you enjoyed, and we're going to get on to the main segment of today's spooky Halloween episode, which is, of course, type review, the ghost type. Fittingly for the Halloween season. If you remember, a few episodes ago, I believe 2 episodes ago, I did a type review episode. It was the first of the 18 that we have planned, or I have planned, where we talk about one of the 18 types every time. And this episode is for ghost type. So ghost type is one of the 18 types. Prior to changes in Generation 4, all damaging ghost type moves are physical, but they may now be special depending on the attack. So that is because of the physical special split in Gen 4, where it was determined the whether or not a move was physical or special was determined on what type it was. So anyway, ghost type has a overall average Pokemon stat average of 447 and a fully evolved average of 506, which is pretty good. Special defense is actually its highest stat in both of them, which is very interesting. Defense is its highest stat in the ghost type average, and speed is its lowest at 71. So ghost type is one of the I believe 2 types, the other one being dragon, that is super effective against itself. So ghost is super effective against ghost. So from generations 2 to 5, ghost is super effective against ghost and psychic. It is not very effective against dark and steel, and it has no effect on the normal type. And defensively, bug and poison are not very effective against ghost. Dark and ghost are not very effective against ghost. And normal and fighting have no effect against ghost. And interestingly, they removed the steel. They removed ghost being not very effective against steel in Generation 6. I don't know why. I didn't know about that. So in Generation 2 to 5, dark or ghost was not very effective against dark and steel, and now the only type that ghost is not very effective against is steel. It also says in Generation 6 onwards that ghost type Pokemon are now immune to effects to prevent recall or escape, such as Mean Look and Shadow Tag. They are also guaranteed to flee from any wild Pokemon battle, regardless of speed. I didn't know that. That's so if you ever need a Pokemon like that, if you ever like shiny hunting or something and need to run away from things automatically, use a ghost type. I didn't know that was a thing. That's you learn something new every day. That's really, really cool. So I'm just going to read some things directly off Bulbapedia. So ghost is the only type with more than one immunity. However, these immunities can be removed by Foresight, Odor Sleuth, or Scrappy. As a Generation 6, that was just the same thing we talked about earlier. Ghost types are also unique in the fact that they have a type-specific attack, Curse, which works differently for ghost type Pokemon than it does for other Pokemon. The move Trick or Treat adds the ghost type to the target's types. Right. Offensively, Ghost is ineffective against normal. The immunity can be ignored by Foresight or Odor Sleuth. Since Steel type no longer resists Ghost type attacks in Generation 6, Ghost is tied with Dragon for the least resisted type. No Pokemon resist a combination of fighting and ghost type attacks, as the only combination capable of this has never materialized. Normal and ghost. There's never been a normal ghost Pokemon. Interesting. In contest, ghost type Pokemon are typically clever moves, but some may be any of the other contest conditions. As of Generation 7, there are 46 ghost type Pokemon, or 5.7% of all Pokemon, making it the second rarest of the 18 types, only above Ice. Interesting. So there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 pure ghost type Pokemon. And those are Misdreavus and Shuppet, Banette and Mega Banette, Duskull and Dusclops, Mismagius, Dusknoir, Yamask, Cofagrigus, and the new one, Poltegeist. Man, like, it's interesting that there's only that many. There's only very little pure ghost type Pokemon. I always thought that Dusknoir was like Dark Ghost, but no, just Ghost. And the half ghost type Pokemon, primary ghost type Pokemon, of course, the original 3, the very first and only ghost type Pokemon of Generation 1, Ghastly, Haunter, and Gengar, as well as Mega Gengar. There's Drifloon and Drifblim, Spiritomb, which is one of my favorite Pokemon, which I've talked about before. Giratina, Giratina altered form and origin form. There's Litwick, Lampen, and Chandelure, who are Ghost Fire. Phantup and Trevenant, and Pumpkaboo and Gourgeist, which are Ghost Grass. Oricorio, the only other Ghost Flying, I believe. There's Drifloon, Drifblim, and then Oricorio. Sensu style, of course. Sandygast and Palossand, who are the only Ghost Grounds. Nope, that's not true. There's Golett and Golurk. Don't listen to me. Mimikyu, who is the only Ghost Fairy. There's Delmise, who's another Ghost Grass. There's Alolan Marowak, who's Fire Ghost. Shedinja, who is the only Bug Grass. Sableye and Mega Sableye, who are the only other Dark Ghosts other than Spiritomb. Frostlass, Rotom, Frillish, who I always forget that Frillish and Jellicent are Ghost type. They do not seem like Ghost type. I mean, it makes sense because they're jellyfish, but like, come on. They're, it makes sense, but it's just weird. You never think about the fact that they're Ghost type. I want to use a Jellicent on like a team. If I ever replay through Black White or Black White 2, I will most definitely use a Jellicent on my team. Golett and Golurk. There's Honedge, Doublade, and Aegislash. Hoopa Confined is Psychic Ghost, while I believe that Hoopa Unbound is Dark Psychic, so Hoopa loses his Ghost type. There's Decidueye, who is Grass Ghost, Lunala and Dawn Wings, Necrozma, who is Psychic Ghost, and there is Marshadow, who's Fighting Ghost, and Blacephalon, who are Fire Ghost. Prior to Generation 5, all of Rotom's forms were Ghost type like its base form. Wait, really? So like Heat Rotom. So were they all like Flying Ghost or Electric? Interesting. Oh, it's Electric Ghost type regardless of its form. That's interesting. So after Generation 4 and Generation 5, they changed Heat, Wash, Frost, Fan, and Mow Rotom to Electric, Fire, Water, Ice, Flying, and Grass, respectively. That's very interesting. I didn't know that. Wow. So if you're playing Gen 4 and you're using a Rotom, no matter what form it's in, it's always going to be just Electric Ghost. Wow. Interesting. So for moves, there is Astonish. Nice. Confuse Ray, Curse, Destiny Bond, Grudge, Hex, Lick, Menacing Moonray's Maelstrom, which is, I believe, Lunala's Z move. There's Moongeist Beam, which is Lunala's signature move. Never Ending Nightmare, which is the Ghost Z-type move, Z power. Nightshade, Nightmare, Ominous Wind, Phantom Force, Shadow Ball, Shadow Bone, Shadow Claw, Shadow Force, Shadow Punch, Shadow Sneak, Sinister Arrow Raid, which is Decidueye Z power, Soul Stealing 7-star Strike, which is, wow, that is a alliteration if I've ever heard one. That is Marshadows, I believe. Spectral Thief, which is also Marshadow's signature move. Soul Stealing 7-star Strike is Marshadow's Z move. Wow, let's try saying Soul Stealing 7-star Strike 5 times in a row. Fast. There's Spirit Shackle, which I believe is just a ghost type move. There's Spite, and there's Trick or Treat, which is Trick or Treat is probably the most interesting ghost type move of them all, because if you don't know, it gives the Pokemon ghost type. So like you could even you could be like a say like a Mudkip or a Swampert, say water ground. You could have a third type if a Pokemon, I believe Pumpkaboo and Gourgeist. Yeah, it's a signature move of Gourgeist. If they use it on you, you become ghost type. You have 3 types, which is very, very interesting. I really, really like that move. I've used it a little bit in like Pokemon Showdown when I was doing like gimmicky teams. I used a Gourgeist with Trick or Treat. It's very fun. So there are abilities, ghost type abilities. There's only, or not ghost type abilities. Abilities don't have types. There's abilities that interact with ghost types. Interestingly, a Pokemon with color change, Protean, Imposter, RKS system, or multi-type will become ghost type Pokemon if, respectively, it is hit with a ghost type move, uses a ghost type move, is sent out against a ghost type opponent, is holding a ghost memory, or holding a spooky plate, or ghost TMZ. Since Generation 6, all Pokemon are also immune to Magnet Pull, Arena Trap, and Shadow Tag. So there is Rattled, which is a Gen 5 ability. It raises speed 1 stage upon being hit by a dark, ghost, or bug type move. Interesting. I guess it's because it's spooky. Those are like the common fears. The fear of the dark, fear of ghosts, and fear of bugs. There's Scrappy, which enables normal and fighting type moves to hit ghost type Pokemon. And there is Cursed Body, which only ghost type Pokemon can have these abilities. And has a 30% chance of disabling any move that hits the Pokemon. I believe that Cursed Body is Gengar's signature ability. Maybe not just Gengar. Gengar was the first one to have it. It is also Alolan Marowak's first ability, and the rest of them, Shuppet, Banette, Frostlass, Frillish, and Jellicent, are all either secondary or hidden abilities. And there are many notable ghost type trainers. There is pretty much all of them are Elite Four and gym leaders, which is cool. There was Agatha of the Gen 1, who, funny enough, I always thought it was really funny. When I was replaying through Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, when you're fighting Agatha, because Gen 1 only has 3 ghost type Pokemon, one fully evolved ghost type Pokemon in Gengar, I think it's really funny that Agatha uses, like, I believe, like, Arbok and, like, some poison type Pokemon. Like, she may as well have just been a poison type Pokemon. Like, why would you make a ghost type gym leader when there's literally only one ghost type Pokemon, you know? So I believe she used, let me actually look. And I know in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, she used, in Pokemon Red and Blue and Pokemon Yellow, she uses Gengar, a Haunter, a second Gengar, Golbat, and Arbok. And then in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, she uses 2 Gengars, a Weezing, an Arbok, and a Golbat. She also uses an Alolan Marowak in the rematch, which is interesting. I forgot that they also had Alolan Marowak in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, but there wasn't Alolan Marowak in the original games. So there's Morty in Generation 2, who is the Ecruteak gym leader. There's Phoebe in Generation 3, who is the Ghost type Elite 4. There's Fantina, who is the Hearthome gym leader in Generation 4. Chantal, who knows? Who's the Elite 4 in the Unova Pokemon League. Acerola, who's the trial captain and also Elite 4 in Alola. And Alistair for Sword and Shield. In only Shield. So we'll go over some We'll go over some trivia for ghost-type Pokemon, and then I believe that's all we really have to talk about today. So in Generation 7, introduced the most ghost-type Pokemon of any generation, with 11. Generation 2 introduced the fewest ghost-type Pokemon with only 1, who I believe is Mischievous. Generation 7 also introduced the most ghost-type moves of any generation, with 8. And Generation 5 introduced the fewest ghost-type moves with only 1. What was the ghost-type move introduced in Generation 5? Hex. Hex was the only ghost-type move introduced in Generation 5. Interesting. Actually, before we move on, there's some items we have to talk about. Of course, there's the Ghost Gem, Ghost Memory, the Ghost MZ, the Spooky Plate, which we talked about. It gives different Pokemon like Arceus and Silvally, and powers up Ghost-type moves, all that stuff. But there's also the Gracious Orb, which allows Giratina to change form, and also powers up Dragon and Ghost-type moves when it is held. There's the Cassib Berry, which will lessen damage taken from one super effective Ghost-type attack, and the Spell Tag, which boosts the power of Ghost-type moves. Here's an interesting question. How many Ghost-type legendaries are there? There's Hoopa. There's Lunala, who I will also just count as Necrozma. Marshadow, so 3 so far. And then Giratina, so 4. Not many. Which is interesting. Anyway, in Generation 1, Ghost-type moves have no effect on Psychic-type Pokemon. Through an abundance of evidence suggests that this may have been an error. Multiple sources mention that Ghost-type moves are super effective on Psychic-type Pokemon. Official strategy guides published by Nintendo, 2 episodes of the anime, and even the games themselves, where a trainer in the Saffron Gym mentions that Psychic-type Pokemon only fear bugs and ghosts, though the reference to Ghost-type Pokemon was removed in Pokemon Yellow. This was corrected in Generation 2 to make Ghost move actually super effective against Psychic-type Pokemon. That's why Psychic-type Pokemon were so overpowered in Generation 1, because the Psychic-type Pokemon, are arguably the most overpowered type in Pokemon history in Generation 1. And it's because Ghost types were supposed to be super effective, but they weren't. There are no Ghost type moves with an accuracy lower than 100%. While the Ghost type has an immunity to normal type moves, several damaging moves that display as normal can affect them, including Hidden Power and Struggle. Right, because Hidden Power's type varies depending on where you are, or not where you are, your IVs and stuff. So that makes perfect sense. From Generation 6 onwards, it is not possible for any Pokemon to possess a double resistance to Ghost. The only Pokemon to possess a double resistance in previous generations are Poniard and Bisharp, both of which are Dark Steel. Oh, that makes sense, because they removed the Steel type resistance to Ghost. The Ghost type is the only type immune to 2 types. Kalos is the only region without a noble Ghost type specialist. Oh, that's right. All the other generations have gym leaders and Elite Fours, but Kalos doesn't have one. In Pokemon Conquest, Ghost-type Pokemon which are not part flying have Levitate, are shown with an animation of physically passing through enemies, referencing the common belief that real-life ghosts can pass through solid objects. They cannot, however, pass through any other obstacle on the field in-game. Ghost and Dark are super effective against the same types. As a Generation 6, the only difference between them is that Dark-type moves are not super effective on fighting or fairy, while Ghost-type moves do not affect normal Pokemon. As shown in the anime Sun and Moon series, Ghost-type Pokemon, despite their name, have lifespans and can die? This was first mentioned in Why Not Give Me a Z-Wing Sometime, where Acerola revealed that her shiny Mimikyu, Mimikins, is in fact the ghost of a deceased Mimikyu. What? So Acerola's shiny Mimikyu is the ghost of a Mimikyu. Of a ghost. Later, in a timeless encounter, it is revealed that Professor Kukui once had befriended a totem Trevenant that he nicknamed Elder. It is revealed that Elder had passed away sometime afterwards, its body now a regular tree. What in the world? That is insane. I don't watch the anime, so maybe that's like common sense, but I really like the thought. I think it's really funny that a ghost type Pokemon, as in Mimikyu, died and became a Mimikyu. Okay. All ghost type moves are eligible to be used in Sky Battles. Fun. So, what do I think of ghost type? I believe last time we rated them, so I'm going to rate ghost types. I think ghost types are cool. I say that about literally everything, but like, I mean, they're not my favorite. There's a lot of cool ghost type Pokemon out there. There's a lot of cool references to like folk tales and stuff like that, which I really appreciate with a lot of ghost types. And overall, I just think that their concept is really interesting. It's not normally something that you see, in standard video games. You normally see with a bunch of different types and like attributes and stuff. You normally see in like death type, like death realm and like death attributes, death magic. But this is like, instead of death, it's like it's ghost. It's very interesting. It's a cool take on it, and I really appreciate the difference between them, and it feels different. When ghost types don't feel like death, they don't feel like necromancy. They feel like ghosts, and I like it. I'm gonna say, I believe last time we rated Fairy like a 7 out of 10. Me and Max, or like a 7.5 out of 10. I'm gonna give it another 7. I think 7 is good. Ghost types are cool. They're not my favorite, but they're most definitely a little bit more exciting than other types. So, last but not least, to end off the episode, we're going to go over the last segment of today, which is Move Tutor, everybody's favorite segment where we talk about a random move every episode. This one is number 460, which is Spatial Rend, which is Palkia's signature move. In Japanese, it is called Subspace Tear, I guess. Subspace Tear, Spatial Rend, is a damage-dealing Dragon-type move introduced in Generation 4. It is the signature move of Palkia. It is a PP of 5, a power of 100, an accuracy of 95%. Spatial Rend deals damage and has an increased critical hit ratio. Spatial Rend can also be used as part of a contest spectacular combination where the user gaining extra 3 appeal points if the move's Focus Energy was used in the prior turn. That's it. It says in everything up to Diamond and Pearl, the user tears the foe along with the space around it. This move is a high critical hit ratio. And in Black, White, and onwards, it says the user tears the target along with space around it. Critical hits land more easily. The only 3 Pokemon that are able to learn Spatial Rend are Palkia, Darkrai. Palkia by leveling up, and Darkrai and Arceus in Event. Which makes sense for Arceus because Arceus created Palkia, but Darkrai I don't really understand. In Mystery Dungeon, Spatial Rend hits all opposing Pokemon in the room. Oh my god, Jesus. It has an increased critical ratio. That's insane. And in Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS and Wii U, when summoned, Palkia uses Spatial Rend to flip the stage perspective temporarily. The attack can also damage fighters when making contact. Oh my god, I remember that move. I'm glad they didn't bring that back in Ultimate. Because Jesus Christ. That was the problem. It was like, because when you get Palkia in Smash, it's like a detriment to everybody, not just it's a detriment to you as well, It's not just everyone else, it's everyone. It's very annoying. Anyway, I think that is going to do it for me today. I hope you all enjoyed this spooky episode of Extreme Evocast. And I thank you all for listening. Have a great Halloween, everybody. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.